How's the old stop out then? Have a meatball last night, did you? Morning, bright eyes. Steaks Unlimited, was it, at the best joint in town?
Billy, Mr. Dewhurst may deal in meat, but despite your terrible jokes, he does know how to conduct himself. Credit where credit is due. We had a most delightful meal last night.
I'm very glad to hear it. And you can shut up and all.
Do you mind? I'm trying to concentrate on her face.
Oh, do stop brooding, Lucille. I'm sure Mrs. Lacey's a perfect stranger to all of us.
Mrs. Lacey?
The lady who's looking after the Barlow twins. Lucille's got some wild notion that she's seen her somewhere before. And I wish you'd sit down when you have your breakfast. It's not only bad manners, you'll get indigestion.
Sorry, Mum. Business before manners. Can't you hear them?
Pardon?
All them people making money, you can almost hear it changing hands. Ta-ra.
Should have thought you'd have been having a bit of a lie-in this morning.
That'll be the day.
When me and my Stan was courting, when he used to take me dancing at the 11th June Pally, I could never get up for work the next day.
Really?
Oh, I lost many a good job through that. Still, it were worth it.
I'm sure it was. Now, Mrs. Ogden, I want you to pay particular attention to the living room today.
What? I've heard that Harold Dewhurst's a bit of a card. Man about town, you know.
The lampshade, for instance, would welcome a caress from your
throws his money about like a Chinese Buddha, one with 6 arms.
And the mantel shelf looks as though it's been neglected lately.
Any road, you need never be short of a Sunday dinner from now on, because I believe that if you catch Harold Dewhurst's eye, the contents of his fridge is yours for the asking.
Mrs. Ogden, would you kindly concentrate on doing what you are paid to do and stop making remarks that are not only inappropriate, but fatuous?
I don't care what you say, Mrs. Hoity-toity Walker. You're not the first widow Harold Dewhurst set his cap at, and you won't be the last.
It's really bugging me, you know. Can't put my finger on what's familiar about that flipping woman.
Well, don't bust a garter, it'll come in a flash.
Where I put my handbag this morning didn't, still hasn't.
Well, you'll just go, pow, Eureka, it's my long-lost cousin twice removed from Pakistan.
Yeah, it'll probably be something and nothing when I do remember.
Aye, well, by all accounts, Ken's happy enough with this, what's her name?
Margaret Lacey. Margaret Lacey. Come on, bell, ring.
Well, stick at it, kid. Yeah. Hey, I say, don't you want your change?
Oh, crikey, I forgot. I ain't late as it is.
Sure. You know, I think she's come after you for pinching her husband.
All to plan this morning, Mr. Barlow. Children safely delivered to school and well before the bell.
Oh, good. Well, I'm a bit late myself, so I've got a free first period.
Best to start the way you mean to go on.
Oh, absolutely, yes. I'll be out of your way in just a jiffy.
Just a question of getting the routine fixed, the wheels oiled, and then everything should run itself.
There's no teething troubles, then?
Oh, they're beyond teething troubles at
No,
their age.
no, it's a figure of speech. No problems with the twins, I mean.
Well, nothing serious, but they do tend to get a bit boisterous when they're out, off the leash.
Oh, any trouble with them? You tell them I'll want to know about it.
I tried that one. They didn't seem much impressed.
Listen, you have my permission to correct them if they misbehave seriously.
Smack them?
Well, no, more of a gesture.
Well, let's hope it won't be necessary.
No, but I don't want them taking advantage.
Oh, my own view is that a firm attitude never did a child any harm, as I'm sure you found being a teacher.
I must say I have been tempted in the past to lash out.
Lash?
Well, I have been known to heave the chalk duster in the general direction of an insolent grin.
Yes, well, a slight tap in the right spirit can work wonders. But I'd never smack a child on the face, never.
Oh, no, I think that is taboo. Let's just say we'll try to make the punishment fit the crime.
I'd say the main thing was method. And I think you'll find mine works pretty well.
Oh, Mrs. Caldwell, you must have a system. You've come up again.
She's never.
Yeah, Lem Fairclough warned me about you when he lent me this.
Well, I just close my eyes and hope.
I've been doing that about fellas.
Aren't you going to try a look, Mr. Ogden?
Oh, well, I'm skint lovey, seeing her. Don't want to borrow.
I know you get paid in stale buns, but go on, I'll advance it to you. Right, eyes down, any number.
Here we go, then. All the threes, 33.
Crossing my fingers for you, Mr.
Where is
Ogden.
it?
Right, oh, yeah.
Right,
Come on, spit
Get
it.
ready for a shot.
Spit it out, spit it out.
You've won a...
What?
Note. Next, please. All donations gratefully received.
Would you credit it? Down the flipping swanny again. Hey, tell Fairco to bring me that thing in the rovers at lunchtime, will you? I'll have some real brass.
You leave me mum's jewel box alone. Hello, my little grey sunshine. Are you having a go?
I'm having a tin of beans. And if that's the same swindle that Len Fairclough's been hawking round folks' doorstep, you can stick it up your jumper.
I look a bit deformed.
Well, I think you've been very mean, Albert. It's all for charity.
Look, you'll need faith, hope and charity if Ena Sharples catches you gambling.
Well, I know Ena thinks it's wicked, but I do seem to have the knack of winning.
Yeah, one of these days you'll have the knack of losing.
Oh, come on, Mr. McTacklock. Where's your spirit of adventure? Did you lose it all in the Flanders fields?
Look, I bide my time. I wait until what are called favourable odds.
You know what? I think I'll drown myself.
I know what you mean, kid.
No, this is that when you're drowning, the whole of your life flashes past you.
Oh, well, I definitely couldn't stand that.
Well, in mine, I'd see Margaret Lacey.
She seems to be haunting you.
Yeah, a ghost from the past. Oh, it's more like I've no tales to think about.
Hey, you and your empty life.
What I'm saying is, if there's any clouting to be done, it should be done with close family.
Nobody's talking about clouting them, Uncle Albert.
Now look, they're not ninepins, they're kiddies. They're your kiddies. And it's not natural to let other folk knocking them about.
Look, you keep using these words, clout and knocking about. I mean, the woman's not going to suddenly produce a shillelagh from a handbag, for heaven's sake.
It looks pretty heavy-handed to me.
Now, gents, no argy-bargy.
Right, well, look, I'll have a half pint of my usual bit and something to cool Uncle Albert off.
Ah,
here.
well, we keep a fire bucket under the bar for just that one thing.
Yeah, you know, when I were a lad, I had many helping of clog pie in my time. But it were allus my dad that give it to me.
Yes, well, circumstances alter cases. As I'm sure somebody once said. Thanks, Ben. You heard all that then, did you?
Oh, well, I got the drift.
Yeah, drift's the operative word, I think. It's all uncharted waters at the moment, tacking about, buffeted from all quarters. Don't desert the kids this year. Pop in and see them now and again, will you?
Familiar face?
And a popular one.
Yeah, there's been a lot of unfamiliar fizzogs around recently, haven't they? Moving in, taking over. Don't you think you might be taking a bit too much on trust?
Any port in a storm, is that what you mean?
Something like that.
Oh, I shall have to put my foot down with a firm hand, I can see. I've got an idea I'm being shoved.
I only asked you if you were working late.
No, I can feel Harold's elbows in my ribs. If I don't watch out, he'll be taking over in here.
It's not often I entertain.
Oh, I know these candlelight Casanovas. I mean, you say he earned his fortune on meat. But what about all these rumours about him being a white slaver?
Billy, if I took notice of all the rumours I
He
hear...
could have you hit over the head with Hambone and carted off to Salford docks before you could say Tangiers.
Billy, love, Mr. Dewhurst took me out last night. He behaved perfectly. He was altogether charming. I had a thoroughly enjoyable evening.
Oh, it's only a joke.
I think it's only good manners to return his hospitality, and I don't think I'm running the slightest risk to my reputation. And if you think I'm going to be intimidated by
I'm not
wagging
arguing, I
tongues...
agree with you. If you want to entertain Harold Dewhurst, you entertain him. I mean, after all, I'll only be out there, won't I? You can always scream.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ken, I can't give it to you. And Assis is still a few millionaires. You'll have to stick to school teaching a bit yet.
Yeah, now let's see, that's 6 goals, 2 draws, 1 still to go. Now, hang on a bit, Albert.
Oh, well, back to the exercise book then.
Right, ta. Now then.
Thanks a lot, Emma. See you.
See you.
Bye-bye.
Who's next? Bet, come on, you're well named. How about having a plunge right your neckline?
Catty.
Mr. Tatlock, are you ready yet?
No, the odds aren't narrow enough.
Oh, Mrs. Carwell, do you fancy taking a bit more money off us?
No, I want to give somebody else a chance.
Oh, how about me grey-haired daddy of mine? Oh, Dad, you're sweating. It can't be work. It must be gambling fever.
Now, look, there's a bob I owe you.
Yeah.
There's another one.
Right, fair enough. Go on, take your pick.
No. Mrs. Colwell's going to do it for me. You got the magic touch stuff, haven't you?
Call him Minnie Fingers Caldwell.
Well, wouldn't you rather do it yourself, Mr. Ogden?
No, I'll leave it to you, love.
That's right. Oh, back to your gold mine, Dad, to dig up another nugget.
Well, you see, it's the law of averages, Mr. Ogden.
Caught red-handed, Minnie Caldwell, eh? I sensed something like this was going on.
Oh, I'm sorry, Ina, only it is for charity.
Yeah, mittens for kittens.
Don't be such a spoil sport, Mrs. Sharples.
Oh, you get back to your roulette wheel. Before this pub's finished, what with one thing and another, you'll have to apply to Las Vegas for your next licence.
Mrs. Sharples, your attitude to gambling, however innocent, is entirely your own. But when it comes to casting aspersions on the conduct of this establishment...
Well, I could be tempted to cast aspersions on the conduct of its landlady as well.
Indeed, feel free.
Hey, I'm not going to advise you on the company you keep. You're old enough to decide for yourself.
If you're referring to Mr. Dewhurst...
I never even mentioned his name.
If you're referring to Mr. Dewhurst, I would like to say here and now that I have found him a model of rectitude. He is good-mannered, thoughtful, shy.
Let's see what's it going to be. Hello, Henry, come from last night, I hope.
Yes, thank you. You seem to know Mrs. Howard, I see.
Known her for years. I think a lot about her. Like me, she never gives up.
It's funny, I didn't live one who wants watching this fella. He does anything.
Obviously.
Oh, mate. Yeah. Thought you were working in foreign parts.
Nah, I had to come back to the stuff. Langton, you know, he got head like a sieve.
Where's Emma?
She's in there changing a penny or something. Come on, Emma, 20 fags. My time's money, you know.
Oh, tell her I'll call back later.
Hey, what's this about the atmosphere in your place? According to Irma, it's like thick twist.
Oh, it's Harold Dewhurst, isn't he? If looks could kill, he'd be hung up in his own fridge, wouldn't he?
Yes, love. Them definitely was the days. You could wrap your meat ration up in the bus ticket.
Aye, and if you weren't careful, it'd drop through flaming poncho.
You make me feel young again, Elsie. Yeah, can I give you a lift anywhere? I got my jalopy outside.
What have you got, a bike?
I've got on, you know. I've given up chasing cats with a cleaver.
Now, listen, if it was any day but early closing day, I'd be delighted. But I've got to go home and clean my house up. It's a right tip.
Well, I've known the times when that wouldn't have worried you. Will you let me buy you one for the road?
Oh, go on, then. Force me. A gin and tonic, I'll have.
You going to join us, Anne?
Not for me, thank you.
Oh. Oh, well, you've all seen gin and Mr. Tatlock. What'll you have?
Well, the rum would be very acceptable.
And the other young lady, what's her pleasure?
Thank you kindly. I'll stick to a professional half.
Keep the change, love. Oh, Anne, I've got some messages to do in town, business messages. I'll call in about tea time and see if everything's all right. Well, look after yourselves.
Your change.
Oh, yes. Well, goodbye.
Cheerio, love. Hey, he hasn't changed much, has he? Joe was a great one for talking.
Oh, he makes a nice sausage and all.
I have known the time when we used to live on his black
You know,
puddings.
the Mohicans, Bet, were a savage tribe that collected scalps. I wonder why I should think of them now.
I haven't a clue.
3 scalps was about the average, and after they'd got those, well, they thought they'd proved something.
Mrs. Walker, don't talk in riddles if you don't mind. If you've got out to say it to me.
I beg your pardon.
I've got ears underneath this hairdo, if you're surprisingly enough.
Fasten your seatbelts.
I don't doubt you have.
What you said to Bet Lynch just then came over loud and strong.
Oh, really?
Mohicans, 3 scalps. Yeah. Well, I know a poisoned arrow when I see one, especially when it's aimed straight for the middle of my back.
All I can say, dear, is if the cap fits.
Mrs. Walker, years ago I would have jumped over this counter with a tomahawk. As the years have gone on, I've learnt to respect age.
Let me assure you, Mrs. Howard, that very few years separate you and I.
Oh, don't give us that, Annie Walker. You're drawing your pension.
Did you speak, Mrs. Sharples?
Yes, I said I wanted a milk stout.
It's not locked. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry I couldn't open the door, but I'm just clearing up.
Oh, kids been creating, have they?
Oh, they'd run wild if you'd let them.
Well, I thought I'd take him off your hands for a couple of hours. Well, I mean, Ken mentioned to come in and give you a lift sometime.
Let's see, you're their auntie?
Well, big sister more like.
Well, big sisters can be a big help. Mind you, if Mr. Barlow had warned me, I'd have said after tea's the best time.
Oh, are they out playing?
They're upstairs in their room.
Well, they in trouble?
They had all these toys out all over the floor and then flatly refused to put them back, so I had no alternative.
Well, they'll be down for tea, I suppose.
Oh, we'll have to see.
You've not locked them in on their own.
They must learn their lesson. Does the dad know? He agrees with my methods.
Methods?
This situation's no novelty to me. It's my job. There, I think that's all cleared up. Was there something else?
No, there was nothing else.
No, I remember distinctly putting that 2 bob under the clock. Now all I can find there's hairpins.
Think yourself lucky all I found under my clock's fills.
Honest, anything round in our house isn't safe unless it's screwed down.
Have you questioned the obvious suspect?
Ah, he's in bed doing his factory hooter impressions.
Been through his pockets?
Yeah, he's skinned.
Well, he's been gambling, you know.
He looks so nice and peaceful lying there catching flies in his gob. I didn't like to disturb him because he's on night shift. Gambling, did you say?
And losing.
Oh, well, where he's concerned, it's all the same thing. So that's where my 10p disappeared to, is it?
Well, no, I couldn't swear to that.
Oh, don't worry, he'd have no compunction. Once the gambling bug gets a grip of Stanley, it turns him into a fiend.
Hey, that there housey game's still ongoing, it?
Not on these premises, it isn't, Mr. Tatlock. Men were being ruined by it. Oh, ma'am, look at his eyes. They're all red and mad looking.
Never mind all that daft talk. Where is it?
I've given it back to Len Fairclough anyway, on your own head be it.
I should have thought you'd had more sense, Albert Tatlock.
Yeah, well, I don't bet blind like your stand does. I bide me time and do the job scientific.
And that's the approach I should have used when I was picking my life's partner.
You should have gone for breeding.
Instead of which I just used a pin.
Fine, he's led you a right gallop ever since.
Of course, when we're young, we're no judge of form, you know. Now, if I had my chance over again...
it'd still be me, Dad.
Yeah. Must be exciting, though, trying your luck for the second time around.
Somebody for you, Mum.
Oh, come in.
Well, is that still a nip in the air, or is the force thawed out a bit?
I found it very mild today, personally, but if you're cold, do go by the fire.
I must say, I felt a distinct chill. No happy smiles, no first names. Look, I bought a couple of steaks. Cut them myself, all prime stuff.
Yes, they look it.
Annie Walker, I said to myself, is the kind of woman who'll cook these without losing a drop of the juice.
Yes, I must admit I don't like to see good food spoiled.
I had the feeling I might have done something wrong at dinner time.
Yes, well, I don't want to talk about it.
Oh, come on, Annie. If I've upset you in any way, I'd like to know. I think I've got a right.
Well, it's not really your fault. It's the place where we live.
Folk been talking about me, you mean?
They have?
Talk, love. There's always talk. Look, I've been a man of my own for a long time now. Bachelor gay, according to the world. I'm not a deep thinker. A fellow who likes a bit of a leg pull. This dinner time with Elsie, what's her name?
Well, it used to be Tanner, but she changes it every so often.
Well, I'm like that with all the customers. I don't like a fellow who looks as though he'd as soon slit your throat as carve a good joint. Well, that's all behind us. Is it, eh?
Well, perhaps it's time that I started relying on my own judgment and not listening to talk.
Oh, talk's now to pound.
But these aren't, and they won't get done lying here.
You know, when I saw you standing behind that bar with your dander up on your metal, I says to myself, I like that woman. She's my sort. She's got style.
Now let's get this straight, Billy Walker. Are you telling me you can't eat at home because your mum's entertaining a bloke?
Yeah, he brought his 2 dirty, great, whacking, great John Wayne-sized mouth-watering steaks. I couldn't sit there like a gooseberry, could I?
I think you should be sat there as chaperone with your knitting.
No, I thought maybe you and I might share a jam butty.
Now listen, these old people can't be trusted. At least you can do is give them 5-minute checks. Okay, you wise guy, no monkey business with my Marcy.
It's all right. I'll put something in his tea.
Well, if we're dining alone, I better make sure I put something in yours and all.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to know now, but what I were entitled to know.
Now what's up?
It'd be a right tater, wouldn't I, to bet blind on the money I get?
Oh, come on, Albert. I can't tell you who's won the prizes and who hasn't won them. Your peas, your money, and your takes your chance.
The youth club gets a new football to kick through my flipping windows.
Well, come on, get your hands down, you lot. It's in a good cause, you know. Come on, Elsie, darling. How about all that lovely commission?
You must be joking. The Great British Public ain't buying frying pans these days. Not anymore, anyway.
How about the Great British Punter, then?
I've resigned, mate.
It means he's had his orders from the Great British House. What?
You're a mean flipping lot, aren't you? Oh, now, come on, darlings. Let's have a go at this lot, eh?
Tell us one thing.
Well,
Has the big prize gone yet?
The big prize has not gone.
The big prize hasn't been won yet.
Well, so I suppose you fancy your chances. You're like a donkey with a carrot.
Well, I know I let Mr. Ogden down, only I still feel that my luck's in. And they say it's better to be lucky than clever.
Who does? Bookie's runners.
Mrs. Caldwell, the first prize is still available.
She knows, so there's no use in you touting for business. Where's Madam, by the way?
With Sir, where else?
Dancing so soon after a meal.
A very good one, too.
Coffee?
Please.
Well, do sit down, Harold. You look as though you ought to be on a beat.
I like to stand up when I've got something to say. It's the words come out easier.
Oh?
It's like this, Annie Walker. In 2 weeks, I'm going away. And I'd hoped you'd consider coming with me.
Where?
I'm going on a Mediterranean cruise. I was going by myself, what with a few friends. It's all up and above board.
A cruise? You do believe in surprises.
Oh, what do you say?
Oh, I'm at a loss. It's all so sudden. I don't know what to say.
Are you afraid of the gossip, or can't you put up with me for more than an hour on end?
Oh, I can put up with you very easily.
Look, I'll be honest with you. I wanted company. I thought you'd be grand company. It's not all selfish, Sarah. You'll enjoy yourself.
It would have to be on an equal basis as regards cost, otherwise I couldn't consider it.
That being said, will you think about it?
Very seriously, I assure you.
That's all I can ask.
It's now with a swizz. A blooming great swizz. I got my name down for next goal. You've got no right to blooming well go in out of your turn.
Well, I did, and I won, so there.
Yeah, Mrs. Caldwell, one bright new shining 50p piece with the compliments of Mr. Fairclough.
Oh, thanks very much. Is Ina still there? Yes. Doesn't take me long, does it?
Hey, here's to a good clean sweep, eh?
Got it all worked out scientific, I had. Just wanted to have a last think on it, you blooming well nip in.
Oh, you shouldn't think, Albert. You want to go in on impulse.
Yes, well, I'd got it all figured out. I knew that jack point were due any time. Just a blooming queue jumper, that's what you are.
Well, you've got some room to talk when it comes to queue jumping. You were bad from Jackson's chip shop once over for talking to folks and then squeezing in.
You got in front of me once and you were served with the last bit of cod.
Yes, as far as you're concerned, you can't be left for 5 minutes on your own, can you? Well, mine's a milk stout, and you better get something for old Misery Guts here before he goes home and strangles Bobby.
3 times on a flipping trot, flipping hat trick.
Oh, why don't you send her a begging letter, Stan?
That's an idea, isn't it?
OK. Well, look, but I can't disturb her, but I will give her your message. Yeah. Well, can I ask her to ring you in the morning? OK. Bye.
What's this in aid of?
Diversion, roadblock, your aunt's entertaining.
It's been like that everywhere I've been today. Closed doors, keep out, no admittance.
Like where?
Like the Barlows. Hey, do you know she'd locked the twins up in the room?
Mrs. Lacey?
Who else?
Well, maybe they deserved it.
Yeah. Like I did.
What's the matter?
She locked me up once and all. In a coal shed. For nearly half a day.
You? Where?
The orphanage. She was one of the reasons I ran away.